everyone. Welcome back to your favorite podcast, Three Slips and Silly Points. And this is our episode 36.
Ooh.
36. Uh, as you could see, we're still down to two slip fielders. And with the way the pitches are, I think we're okay for two slips for a while. Right, I'm Chai, and we've got Raj in second slip. This episode is a bit delayed. We did want to do it a little earlier after the disastrous second test result, but hey, better late than never. All right. So Raj, second test, India, New Zealand. A lot of records
I mean,
broken.
definitely broken. I mean, if India was to lose to someone, I think New Zealand's a good side to lose to. I'm okay with it. I can make peace with it. Um, like it's my fallback team anyway, so I'm always happy. But the qualification chances have been hampered big time.
It's now pretty close. Four teams in contention
Yeah,
for what was for two spots, which was previously India were pretty much expected
yeah.
to smoothly sail into finals, and three teams were contesting for one spot. Um, hey, you know what? We can all blame it on the T20 World Cup.
All right.
Even including myself, right? When we needed 30 runs from 30 balls, we had to defend 30 runs with 30 balls remaining. I
Yeah.
was praying, let this be the only game that we win for the rest of the year. I'm okay, right?
You can't complain. You can't complain. You can't complain
So,
now.
uh, as much as I'm feeling really sad, I like this is karma hitting back, right?
You're
I
like,
did pray for. I don't care about any other victories for the rest of the year. Let's just get this victory going.
you're like, you're like, WTC finals are next year, so I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm all covered.
I'm all good for this year, all right?
um,
Uh,
but the craziest part for me in this defeat was New Zealand just played in Sri Lanka, and they were smashed in Sri Lanka on spinning wickets.
yeah.
And then they come over here. Look, first game, we're like, oh man, it wasn't like an Indian pitch. They had home conditions and they did really well. But second game was really like it was turning from day one, and it felt like New Zealand knew how to play the turning ball, but India was just like, what? What else?
Yeah. We all speak about law of averages will eventually catch up. 2013, I think
Yeah,
the
12
string
years.
lasted. Yeah. Now another fun fact: and the last time India lost a Test series at home was in 2012,
Yeah.
and the next year India went on to win Champions Trophy. So just saying, we lost the Test series. Just saying, Champions Trophy next year.
Will it come at a cost of no WTC final?
Hey. Let's not write it off, right?
Nah, but the crazy
Uh,
thing for me, literally, is still how did they play? Like New Zealand is like they're criminal for not being able to play spin. They're known for it, and then um they come in and they smoke it. Like for me, everyone looked comfortable. Like
oh,
Blundell, who doesn't even play spin, even in New Zealand, he probably can't like face spin as well. Was smashing it. Like he looked comfortable.
and the other fun part, and the other interesting way of New Zealand's approach to the spin attack is the number of reverse sweeps that they've been playing. Every time the ball beats the bat, reverse sweep comes out, right? Every single time. And in the second pitch or second test, in the first innings, we started to get a bit of early wickets, but there wasn't enough pressure. Any new player was easily able to rotate the strike. It was very defensive field setup, especially in the first innings, um, where there were just runs there for taking. So any new player that want to settle in could have done it easily. However, things changed by the time it was the second innings, where you had more players in the face of the batsman.
Yeah,
That's your typical spin, typical setup, right? You've got a spinning track, you've got first slip, a leg slip, a silly point, right, and then the whole banter that goes on with the batsman. Um, the morale was down, so the banter dropped. Rishabh was trying to keep some of it up and running, but overall the banter dropped. The players, it's always plays in batsman's mind on a spinning wicket when you throw so many people in front of you. I think that was missing pretty much, and this is what New Zealand did well. But they had players around the batsman pretty much every single time. The moment Santner was there, there was someone in and around the bat.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I feel like they bowled a lot more wicket-taking balls also. Like
Hmm.
Jadeja in the first innings was really fast, didn't let the ball spin, and Ashwin I thought just didn't look like Ashwin to me. Like he wasn't even like he wasn't consistent on that one spot that he usually is, right? Um,
Exactly.
and like his carom balls were coming out really short. It was just like it just felt like Ashwin isn't bowling today. Like it's someone else.
And had we not picked Washi,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know. This would have.
that's a left
This
field
is.
pick, right? When you have a
Yeah,
Axer
exactly.
in the team, and to be honest, I actually think Axer should have been in the team because if you look at how many overs Akashdeep bowled, I'm sure we could have done without his
No,
overs.
no. Yeah, I was looking at it. This guy comes in. He's on the field, bowls like 4 or 5 overs in the first innings, doesn't get a ball in the second innings at all. Comes to the bat for about 10, 15 balls. I'm like, growing up when you used to play backyard cricket, you
Yeah.
always had that one guy whom you had to pick just because you have to fill the spots.
It's like, yeah,
Akash felt like that.
but imagine if instead of Akashdeep, we would have had Akshar Patel in the squad. He can bat just as well as anyone else in this squad by the looks of it can, because let's be honest, no one in this squad can actually bat right now. Um, and he another option for you to bowl. Like he's literally a like for like if Jadeja's not pitching it where he's meant to pitch it, or if he's bowling too quick, oh, it's all good. We've got Akshar, just pull him in.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
reckon both games Rohit's gotten it wrong. First one, you can say that hey, the weather came in out of nowhere and he read it wrong, and you can even say that hey, the toss he had the call wrong, but even the opposition was going to do the same thing if they won the toss. All of that's
yeah,
all good, but I think tactically he's messed up. And I, I was reading somewhere, and they're like, he's captaining in Test like he would captain in T20s, but those tactics just don't work because Test's a lot longer, so people don't actually get tempted to like fall for the tricks that you'd play in T20s. Um,
yeah.
and I think we need to figure out how. I mean, he needs to figure out how he can like change this.
One thing, everyone after the series loss, and even after Sri Lanka ODI series loss, never pointed anything back to Gambhir, the coach.
Yeah,
There's always been, I think Sharma has been taking or coping up with all the heat for both the series. So, well, India, lost to New Zealand after what 36 odd years,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
ridiculous.
It's their first
Um,
ever series win,
First
right?
series win.
Yeah,
Yeah, first test win in India after 36 odd years. First series win ever for India, losing the 13-year or 12-year streak. Just before this, even the Sri Lanka series, Sri Lanka beat India after 28 odd years.
yeah.
They didn't have a series win for in a very long time.
An O
So
an ODI series win, right?
an ODI series win,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff
Yeah,
that's
but
happened.
at that time, Gumby had just started, so let's assume, newbie
Yeah,
and whatnot.
uh,
But now you can't keep saying the
he
same
can't.
thing, right? Like surely
Yeah,
at some point he's gonna have to step in and be like, hey, my bad. But
yeah.
my problem isn't even that. After failing in Sri Lanka on those spinning wickets, why didn't they make playing in Ranji Trophy mandatory for Rohit Sharma and Kohli?
Everyone, right? I mean,
Well, everyone
Sachin
else
was
more or less
playing.
played, right? More or less
Sachin
everyone else
played
played.
Ranji even when he was like 40.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Even there's no excuse to be provided.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
workload management and all of that exists, but
yeah, but you still need
you
to
know,
practice, right? Because you've been struggling against spin for so long.
yeah,
And the other problem is Ajinkya and Pujara,
Pujara
even and
are
and if
scoring
even if
runs.
no, not just scoring runs, but like even when they didn't do well, they always went back to the system and they always like built it, right? But these two have never gone back.
Yeah,
Like they should have at least played in the Delete Trophy games, at least in
they
like two.
just spend time in the middle, right?
Yeah,
You might. I mean,
yeah, but
these
just
bowlers
playing
may not
cleanly
be of
ball because
yeah may not be of international caliber, but that time in the middle and a few good strokes on the bat would give them all the confidence in the world.
trust me, Kohli got out to a full toss. He needs practice against nubs. He needs to play some
That
not
that
because he's used to playing quality deliveries. It's the bad ones that get him out now. But like the
well,
problem is he needs to understand and like go back, right? Like
yeah,
if he wants to compete at the highest level, he needs to go back into Ranji and like play on those turning wickets. Because this is our
absolutely.
strong suit and we can't struggle. Like I know Sharma came out and he's like
Once in
he
12
was so
years.
nonchalant. He was so nonchalant about it. In the first game, people took and they're like, "Oh yeah, we love this kind of attitude. It's so good." But he can't lose in the second game and say like, "Once in 12 years is all good." Once in 12 years is
Jeez.
all good, yes, but you've been struggling against spin for so long, so it's not all good.
Yeah, and I think India has got what 6 tests remaining after this. The whole
Yeah,
WTC,
six.
the whole WTC calculations, you know, the odds are in favor of South Africa and Australia now.
Yeah,
India was
yeah.
supposed to be sailing
Because
smoothly into
I
WTC
I
finals.
so this actually brings us to a decent enough transition to quickly talk about South Africa, Bangladesh happening in Bangladesh right now, right? Like
Yeah.
they're making Bangladesh look pretty bad
Yeah,
at
I
home
think
on turning
for,
wickets.
first test was probably a bit of an off game, or
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, South Africa trying to adjust to Bangladesh conditions. But the second test, the scoring. I mean, this term of basketball is just going across the world now. But yeah, they're essentially scoring over 3.5. I mean, for Bangladesh conditions, that is quite a
Yeah,
good
it's pretty.
pace.
I mean, regardless of that, right? Like this, they've only lost one wicket. They're gonna do really well.
Yeah,
Like Bangladesh is pretty much out of the game already. Like they're
that's
gonna at
so
least
true.
get 500 runs from here, surely.
Uh, it has to be a miracle if they don't do it from here.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so talking about WTC, South Africa has one game against Bangladesh, which is happening right now, which pretty much is game set and done. Two against Sri Lanka and two against Pakistan. So they are in
Oh,
a
is that
much
South Africa?
for South Africa. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
they've got
Well, but I think Bangladesh was the only away game for them, right? Like rest of them are at
correct,
home.
correct.
So
Yeah.
like
So
these two
it
teams are
it
not gonna
it
win in South Africa, not a single
no,
game.
no, it's all in favor of South Africa, right?
Yeah.
For South Africa to qualify or make it uh, to that top two spots, They need 4 out of 5 wins.
Oh, yeah,
So they,
4 out of 5.
so they 4 out of 5, and to me it feels Bangladesh game is pretty much done. So of their 4 home games, 2 against Sri Lanka. Again, we know Sri Lanka is good at home, but away they're gonna struggle.
Especially
And
with,
South
with the
African,
new squad that they have going in South
yeah,
Africa, playing that kind of pace, very hard. Um,
and
the only
Pakistan
thing
as
the only
well.
thing that'll stop South Africa from winning most of these games is going to be weather, not
Uh,
players.
I'm probably gonna say not even weather, but I would say South Africa themselves. We
No,
are.
that's at the finals, Chai. They've been
Uh,
getting good at getting to the finals these days.
yeah,
Women's
both
T20,
both the
men's
men's and women's.
T20, now that potentially the test final. Um, but
Now,
so, but let's assume India does decent, right? Let's assume India does decent in Australia. Will they knock Australia out if they do decent enough? If because
not
the Yeah.
not necessarily. Um, so it's going to be a say from here on. See, let's probably talk about the 4 teams that are still in contention: India, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand. New
Oh,
Zealand's
but Sri
got.
Lanka also could sneak in, right? Because
Um,
currently they're at number 3, and they only have the
they
one series against South Africa, right?
they are, but the odds are stacked against them because they're playing in South Africa.
Yeah, but they still have the odds.
So
Like technically, if they do win the 2 games,
yeah, they do have the odds, but not the teams that anyone's talking about as
oh
of
no
now.
no, they've got 2 games against Australia also at home.
Ah, okay. So that
That changes
explains why
everything.
no. Yeah, Australia's got 7. That's right. Australia's got 5 against India and 2 against Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka have 4, 2 against South Africa, and 2 against Australia. So yeah, so I think the 4 teams that are actively in contention is India, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand. Now Sri Lanka can spoil everyone's spot, but odds are stacked against them.
Yeah.
New Zealand have got 4 games, and they got to win all 4 of them, which is the toughest part. And 3 of those 4 are against England. So
Who-
yeah, for
Which team? Which
New
team? Sorry,
Zealand,
which team? New Zealand.
New
Ah,
Zealand.
but at home. But at home, right?
Yes,
So
yes, in New Zealand.
yeah, like
But yeah,
surely, if they can beat India in India, they should be able to beat England at home.
yeah. I mean, they need to win all 4 games. So they've got
Sorry,
one
a
versus
special
India and
mention
3
here.
versus England.
The craziest thing about this win for New Zealand is that it's come without Kane Williamson.
Yes, that has been a biggest boost for the team because I'm sure Kane's not going to last longer in the squad. But you've got a team that can win against tough competition in their home in a pitch that doesn't suit them without their star player.
Yeah, and India was their batting was as stacked as possible. Let's be honest. I mean, I still
Yeah,
think this match was all about the bowlers, and bowlers have other people who have let us
tell you.
down, and bad running from Pant. I still think India would have gotten closer in the second innings given he had stuck around a little bit longer. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
Kohli and Pant, they were about to get run out at some point. They've been teasing at it for us for a while now that it's going to happen now, it's going to happen now, and somehow Bangladesh was like, no, 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 we don't want to run people out. We'll miss the wickets by like 1 feet. Um, and it's finally happened. The jinx is over. Yeah, it'll be so interesting to see how India comes out on Friday. because
Yeah.
if they don't win now, it's outies. Like I was
Oh,
reading somewhere, even now India has the highest percentage of chance of qualifying, even above Australia. Um,
yeah.
even when
And
they
that's
lose, like
primarily,
even when they lost two back-to-back games.
yeah. So I think the equation is you got to be about approaching close to that 70% win ratio for you to comfortably make it. Before the series, India was sitting very close to that 70%. They were somewhere around that 68 point something.
Yeah, yeah,
These two losses have brought it back to 62.5, which is at par with Australia. So from here on, yeah, I think for India to be knocked out, Australia has to basically massacre Indian in all
yeah,
five games.
yeah,
Plus, because it's a 5 game series, the percentage ratio of swing would be pretty less.
yeah.
And South Africa should have a dream run, right? Smash,
Yeah, but
smash all five tests.
at home though, I mean, at home it's doable for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, crazy things have happened, right? Like where we thought India couldn't lose, um, and well, they've done it. So, but
Yeah.
but the thing is, if you extrapolate this performance and take it to Australia, I don't think India can compete right now.
Uh, this performance and back it up with the team that just got announced doesn't build any, doesn't have any confidence.
Because none of them have patience to like hang in.
Exactly. No one. See, I think we've spoken about, grinding, just own that end,
Just
put
make
a
them
prize
bowl,
on
make
your
them bowl,
wicket.
make them
That's
bowl.
it.
That's it.
Yeah. There are so many of those good old videos of Shoaib Akhtar running at full pace to Dravid, and Dravid either leaves the ball or just defends it, and just runs back, does it
No, no, no,
again, and it's
no,
just
no, no.
a rinse and
The
repeat.
the craziest thing is, I've seen videos of like Dravid. This guy's steaming and bowls a 155-kilometer ball. He does a solid block, and then Akhtar comes in for an intimidating like stare, and Dravid just gives it back to him, walk towards him, gets like this close to each other, and then Akhtar walks back, and all of that after a block. Like that's
Yeah,
like
I
that's
don't think anyone anyone in this squad has that patience, and
in,
that
in
is
my
must for
in
Australian
my
conditions.
in my head, I thought given the amount of runs Sarfaraz has scored, I thought he would be your key, and he disappointed me the most out of all of them because he didn't sit on the pitch at all. I mean, he scored big runs, but no defense, right? Like no strategy to like, hey, let me just chill. Let me just chill here. I'll bat here for
Yeah,
an hour, score 10 runs, but that's okay because the other side's going to be tired. Because
the, you just need a solid two players that can just grind the bowlers,
yeah, yeah,
and both of if and when that happens, and both of them are on two ends, play half a day, just grind the bowlers, and you're essentially tiring them up, and then you can start to score runs. But that hasn't happened in both of the tests. Hope Gambir and Rohit are tuning into this podcast and getting some tips from us.
nope.
But
Nope.
quickly
Please don't,
talking about
please don't
these.
listen to us about this stuff. You'll definitely know better than us. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
they'll definitely know better than us. But I think, um, I just
just our two
don't
cents.
understand. Like, okay, from the two games that we've seen so far, it just feels like India's playing checkers and New Zealand's been playing chess. That's the most clean difference, right?
Yeah,
Um, where the idea should be like, hey, the bowler needs to feel that I'm going to live here on this pitch for the whole day because that's just who I am. I just don't want to get out, right? Like that's how they
yeah.
should look at it. And then they'll like move the field around and then you can control the whole thing. But our batters have not taken that control at all. It's always been
The
with
the
the other
only
guys.
the only two players that have done shown a glimpse of that was in that second innings of first test, where Sarfraz and Pant
Oh
essentially have
yeah,
played that long innings that got us
yeah,
closer to that
yeah,
450 odd score, right?
yeah.
But
Okay,
it's again, it's one of
but
those. The
but
consistency is not there.
I don't, not taking anything away from them, but that phase was probably the easiest phase batters had in the whole series to bat on, because that pitch was as flat as it could have been in that
Yeah,
phase. Um,
yeah. The new ball did move a bit, but once the
but
ball
as soon
got
as it's,
old, there
no,
was
but it's,
nothing in it.
yeah, but that's the thing, right? Bunt and Surfraz more or less came once the ball was a little bit older, and then as soon as the new ball came, they were outies. I mean, Bunt not really, but Surfraz was outies. It's like,
Yeah.
guys, I've done my job. I got my 150. I'm out. Um,
So yeah.
and to be
For the
honest, that was the
Aussie
game
tour.
changer in that first game, and we could have won from there. I thought.
Oh, had Pant and Sarfraz or one of them could
Not
hang
Bunt,
around
leave
for a
Bunt,
little
because
longer.
Bunt didn't throw his wicket away, but
Yeah,
Surfaraz
Sarfraz.
hadn't. Then India had a chance,
Yeah, and that
and
kicked off that whole.
potentially KL Rahul would have been still in the squad.
Poor guy. Yeah, so the interesting things around the squad to Australia that got announced was Kale still
Yeah,
part of the
yeah,
squad,
he's not going to go
which
anywhere.
is
Yeah,
which is really nice. New faces, Abhimanyu Ishwaran, poor guy, has been scoring back to back to back to back centuries in the Ranjis and Dilip trophies.
yeah, yeah.
Finally gets his time to rise and shine.
The good thing is, so I was initially feeling bad for him given his first exposure international cricket. It's going to be in an away
Overseas.
country, but I think he's part of the India A squad, so he's going to play a whole series just before the BGT, which will be really good for him.
That is pretty good. But
To
yeah, I
be
think
honest,
uh,
I would send Sarfaraz with him also. Give him some exposure of playing because those little outside the off stump dabs, they're going to be
yeah,
very different.
I'm gonna probably make a controversial statement in here. I'll probably get Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli onto that that squad and send
Oh, but
them down to.
that's not going to happen, right? Like they won't even go to the Ranji Trophy.
uh, um, yeah, so I think from a
And
team that got
And BGT is starting in Perth, the fastest pitch in the whole of Australia.
yeah. No, hopefully. So the new faces, Abhimanyu Ishwaran, is nice to see. Washi, I think after his performance, I must say it's a heroic comeback into a squad.
Yeah,
Back returning after 3 years, gets a cap, gets produces a magical spell in both the innings, and then yeah, definitely a good pick to fly down to or come down to Australia.
yeah,
um, Nitish Kumar Reddy was a surprise pick for me.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
I heard rumors they were going to get Bandia to come in for BGT, but obviously not true.
it is
For a fast
obviously not
bowling
true.
rounder. Yeah,
Yeah, but apart from Abhimanyu Ishwaran and Nitish Kumar Reddy, I think the team rest of the squad was pretty much
well,
expected.
no, they dropped Aksar. No
Oh
Aksar
yeah,
anymore.
Pradesh Krishna and Harshit Rana has made it true.
Yeah,
I've missed that.
not even a travel reserve. And I feel like that man's done no wrong to be dropped.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's being in the wrong playing 16 at the wrong time.
And
He didn't
the
get a chance.
crazy thing for me is he should have been in the second test, especially when they knew they were going to build a spin pitch. We've seen what Axer has done against England. Like he's taken 7 fours. Like, come on, he needs to be in your level, and the man can bat on the same level as a Jadeja, a Sundar, potentially even a Kohli at the rate he's going. I mean, better than Kohli.
Absolutely.
Also,
Hopefully
also
he
how
gets
unlucky
later in.
how unlucky was Kohli's dismissal in second innings. Like, if this is the leg stump, the ball's like, I'm just gonna do this,
Kissing
and
it.
umpire's call. Umpire's call for the
Ah,
booth.
oh, jeez. Um,
Um,
all right.
but a couple of positive points though. Jaswal, he came out gung ho and he smashed it in the second innings.
Oh, it
I just wish
was.
that ball that he defended just hit that ball out of the park too. The way he was going, it'd have been fine. It'd have been fine.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I like that intensity with which they came out to bat,
yeah, but I
rather
think
than saying,
the the problem with that intensity was it felt like they knew that they couldn't survive on the pitch, so they had to just attack and how we get how many runs we can in the time we were on the pitch, and that's where the wickets fell.
yeah,
Like something has to happen, right? Where we can, like, we should be able to survive these. And I feel like when the game got to second innings, it was already outies. Like the pitch was really hard to bat on. Like we had to gain the lead in the first innings. We should have had at
yeah,
least 150 on them,
yeah.
finishing first innings because they only
And
got to 60.
even if that 100 and 100 runs lead, or nearly around that 100 lead in the first innings for New Zealand, if the score was somewhere around that 275-ish mark, we would have had a decent chance.
Yeah, yeah,
But the moment it went past 300, it was game over,
it's
almost
done.
right. All right, it needs a miracle. And then, as much as I was pasting, I was typing saying, let's go, boys. We should be able to smoke this one
Yeah.
through. And that opening stand did give, or, the way Gill and Jaiswal were playing till that end of first
Yeah.
session,
Oh man.
it did
Uh,
say it was pretty good.
I thought when Akash Deep came to bat, just ball him a bouncer, give him a concussion. Let's go, KL Rahul. Come in, concussion sub. I need it.
Concussion. uh, yeah, but hopefully the next test, we sort of, now that the series is done and dusted, it's as good as a fresh start. So let's hope the team comes up.
Yeah.
Uh, hey,
The second
on a,
wicket.
did South Africa lose a
Yeah,
wicket?
yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
Uh, on a completely unrelated topic, Pakistan. Just when they've had a decent run, and Gillespie comes out and tells he has nothing to do with the team selection, but was just what in his
match,
words was
match
the
day
game day
strategist.
match day strategist. Their white ball coach quit after
Yeah.
6 months, and pretty much on the same reasons, that he didn't have any say on team selection or growth, or
Well, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure Gillespie's just after some work experience of a big team, and Gary Kirson's like, I don't need that. I've got this. I'm a World Cup winning coach. I don't need this. I can find a team at will. You
Yeah.
need to give me more control, or we're gonna be stuck in this rut where we don't get any wins, and I don't want that.
It's good. And it's going to be a bad thing on my resume. I don't want
Uh,
to be associated if I
no,
don't
but
get any runs.
I actually have a feeling Gary Kirson's just a straight up person where he's like, look, these are the things I need to function. These are the things we need to actually be successful. Can you give this to us? And PCB we know is a very controlling board, and Gary Kirson's like, sorry man, like I can't function like this. But on the other
I'm
hand,
sure.
Gillespie is going to step in, and I honestly think he's just looking at some, it's a CV building exercise. Um,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Gary Kirsten's first assignment was that horrible loss to USA. And Gillespie's first assignment was, again, I'm assuming, the horrible loss
to
to
Bangladesh.
England. To Bangladesh, sorry, correct. This two must be chatting or texting around saying, "All right, what's happening? All right, you calling in quits? All right, you go find a team that just needs a white ball a coach for now, and then also join in when they need the red ball coach.
Yeah. Oh,
And that interview from Gillespie spilled a lot of beans on how PCB manages and operates. Your head coach comes out and says, "I'm not a coach. I'm just the game day strategist."
yeah.
Is that shows that the role what they sold to for these coaches and what the expectation versus reality is very different.
Like at that point, just have a analyst give you tips.
Hey, even they can have an umpire as a chief selector, they can have a curator as your game day strategist.
Well, that actually would work because the curator would know exactly what he's built.
So you're suggesting one game day strategist per game. So they keep changing every game.
Game changing every game. Yeah, they've actually got location specific head coaches.
Oh.
We've got a coach in Rawalpindi, one in Lahore. Now, but
How would the
look,
overseas
regardless, right?
overseas work?
The crazy thing is so look, we talk smack, right? But Pakistan built a spinning pitch, and they were able to handle the spinning pitch. And their spinning pitches were way more rank turners than whatever they built for us in the second match.
you know,
Like,
you can clearly call the pitch as a rank spinner when English team gets their spinners to open the bowling for them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But the point is, they survived and they won. They got the so they were also put into bowl first innings. They got them out around the same score as what India got New Zealand out for. Second innings is where the difference comes in. They get a lead of
yeah.
about 100 and something runs. And India is just like, oh, sorry, is this a toothpick or a bat? Because the ball, we keep missing these balls, and we're either getting bowled or LBs. What's
Uh,
like they're just literally blasting our pads. Like
and
Santana didn't even need to do anything. He just was like, "Here's a ball. Here, there. Look there."
that's it.
And that's it. It's LB. It's out. Get out.
With that ball of yours, Kohli just walked back to pavilion.
Yeah, yeah. It was a full toss. I bowled a full toss just now. Um,
uh, well, I think now that the series is settled, we know, but there's still a key game remaining in the
skin in the
series.
game. Skin in the game.
Yeah, hopefully, all now that series is settled, there's no additional pressure of retaining a record. We are now restarting the record on the home soil. So hopefully, Kohli and Rohit Sharma comes
The
up.
other sad part of this is, I thought we're gonna keep a streak and beat the Aussie streak. But we were nowhere even near the Aussie streak. The Aussie streak was way higher, way longer.
20 odd years. 20 odd
Yeah.
years. That was,
And
yeah.
and I'm sure when they lost after 20 odd years, they didn't say, "Oh, once in 20 years is all good." They came out and they actually were like, "Oh
Oh,
man,
shit.
I can't believe we lost. We've built this record of ours with so much hard work." This guy comes in and he's like, "Oh, we are at fault for giving you guys so many wins that you guys expect this from us." Pfft, come on, can't say that.
uh, well, poor guy has been taking a lot of hit
I Oh,
in his
sorry.
tail end of
I
his
thought you mean
career.
I thought you mean he just came in after a couple of shots and he's like, mad idea, mad idea.
Uh, oh well, I guess the small break to regroup, uh, and
I
given the Border
honestly
Gavaskar Trophy
the
squad
the
has been
only
announced, so I
the,
guess they can work through in a much better state.
honestly the only way I'll get some confidence back, even if India wins, my confidence of BGT isn't going to be up unless Kohli or Rohit Sharma both stick on the pitch like their life depends on it and get a massive 100, like a massive 100, where
Double
the strike
hundreds.
rate's like the strike rate's like at 20, and like,
You mean
cause
massive in that. So you need someone
yeah,
to just grind the
get
bowlers.
a get 150 where the bowlers is just like, I know we both spin, but I still can't like rotate my arm for the next 10 days now. Like, because part of
Huh.
BGT isn't just about winning, right? Like, you need to make sure that Pat Cummins, if he starts at 140 kilometers an hour, first day of BGT, can't even reach 125 on the last day of BGT.
Yeah,
Like, you need to get them so tired that they can't hold their pace or line or length.
absolutely. And I think, yeah, from here on, it's essentially just grind. Yeah, I'm sure Gambhir and Rohit and Kohli would have dusted off all
Yeah.
types of Dravid or Pujara and shown
To
it
be
to the
honest, you
squad.
don't even need that. Gambhir is one of the crazy, like he's got a record of batting 2 whole days in New Zealand.
True. Just pull some magic cat.
Yeah, just tell him, just do this.
Uh, have you caught up with all the memes and stuff that have been going all around on
Probably
how?
not, probably not. Show me, show me.
No, I don't have any in stock because I've just lost track of so many of them. Where how would Gambhir react to the dressing room?
Oh yeah.
Wash is that special child. There was a thing. There was one of those of Lion King where Gambhir's face and Washi is the Simba, and then Gambhir fix everything. He's your new king.
I mean, he killed it, let's be honest. If he wasn't there, they would have gotten at least 300 in the first innings.
300 at a minimum because the way Ash and Jadeja were bowling, they were not going to get any
Yeah.
wickets. It would probably be, Akash Deep and Bumrah that would have had to do the job on a spinning track.
Yeah. Like my brain still can't understand why Axel didn't play the game. Like, why do we need two pace bowlers? Like, you didn't. I guess hindsight is
We
2020, but still, um, they know they built a ranked turner. They know their batting struggles against spin. Let's just get as many people as possible that can bat.
Well, the game's done, so I will probably let's hope that we see a new Indian squad with fresh mindset in that third test. Because this, whatever happens in this third game, is the mindset that they're gonna go or walk into the Australia tour. Let's hope they finish this one on a high, so they can. At least we can all in our next podcast, we don't have a go at the team this much,
Yeah,
and we can essentially start talking about all right, we've got a decent squad that's gonna start the tour to Australia.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, a roast is fun, so it's fine.
Oh, absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, on that note, let's wrap up this one. Like always, like, share, subscribe. Go watch some of our previous videos. Especially, there's one somewhere where we speak about importance of Pujara in this squad, and yeah, and let's make
Sorry, one
bring
last
Pujara
point.
back. Hashtag.
One last point, right? About Pujara, since we're bringing it up while we wrap up. That man's not doing himself any favors. I mean, I know he scored a double hundred, but right after that game, he scored a two in the first innings and a three in the second innings.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, let's wrap it up. We'll catch you all in our next episode. Yeah, new. We'll still be down to two slips for the next one as well.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Until next
Adios,
time.
amigos.